Hello everyone, this is the Paper Princess and we are ready to start making our pocket pages. So now we have the base album and our hinge in place. Some of you might want to put there's going to be 4 double-sided pages, so 8 pages. Some of you maybe put the pocket pages on here first and then work on them, but I make the pocket pages and then work on them, and at the end put them in here. So having said that, there's just one hint that you want to do before you start putting pocket pages on. These hinges you want to cut at an angle, so it's angled in, you know, let's see, like that. Can you see? Let's see. There. So they're at an angle, and that way you'll be able to slip your pocket page right on top of that real easily. So what we're going to do is start we'll just make one pocket page, test it out on here before we make the others. So I'm going to set this aside, and the other thing we're going to do is cover this area, so you know you don't want the pages getting stuck on this if you put it in early. So we're going to cover this. So those two things will go on right now. So let's take our trimmer and bring out 2 pieces of black cardstock, and we're going to cut these. You'll need 8 total, but let's just do 2 to start with and put them together. So these are going to be 8 by 7 3/4. And save these pieces. These can be pockets, flaps. We're going to use them. So 8 by 7 3/4. Okay. And before we put this together, let's just cut those 2 pieces that we're going to put on the front inside cover and back inside cover. Let's set this aside for a second, and since we have our trimmer out, let's take out 2 more pieces of black cardstock, and let's cut these at 8 by 7 1/2. We'll set that aside. I don't want to confuse these. These on the opposite side of the table. Eight by 7 1/2. Okay. Let's put these in our base album to get those out of the way so we don't confuse them with the pocket pages. What I like to do is I put a score tape around the edges, and then, you know, put my tape runner in, make an X in the middle. Some people like the art glitter glue, that really holds it in place. But if you put this score tape around the edges, I mean, I don't do this for every, you know, decorative paper that we put on our flaps, but for the inside covers, I don't want these edges flipping up. So where is my tear tool? Hold on a minute. I just used it. And where did it go? There it is. We're going to have pockets on these inside covers, but we can do that at the end. So that'll be at the end of the page 8 video. We'll do it to this one. see, I want to get right to the edge. Hold on. There. Okay. So for my glue, I have an ATG gun. It just holds a lot of tape, and we definitely go through it when we put the decorative pages. So just make an X and then maybe a square here. Same over here. Ooh, that's not good. Hold on. I think I just went too fast. Now it's sticking to me, no problem. So if that ever happens, this is the first time it happened to me, but I'm gonna hold down and just twist it tight. There we go. Try that again. Make a square. Okay. I'm going to bring back the album. And again, these hinges are taller than normal because they're 3/8 inch. And it's about a 1/2 inch from the top and bottom. So this paper is going to be about a 1/2 inch from the top and bottom also. And basically it just covers up this area so it's nice and smooth. Okay, so the longer side goes across the top this way. And so we can bring it 1/2 inch, looks like about a 1/2 inch, maybe a little less. And just line it up so it lays in there. And there's just a little border across the top, bottom. It's probably about, yeah, 3/8 inch. Okay, and now we don't have to worry about this. We'll set it aside, and we won't really need to pull out this base album until we're ready to put in our pocket pages at the end. So okay, and I had, right in this space, I had put a little crease mark there, and that's it. There's our book. Looks good. We have our nice bookbinding tape here on the edge, and this will be covered. You will see a little bit of the cloth. That'll be covered. One more thing I want to point out, I didn't, but if you want to, some people like to put charms hanging at their spine. You would take like a crocodile punch, now would be the time to do it. Punch a hole right here, and there's like a hook brad. It's got a round loop. You put that there. I think it's made by Tim Holtz. And then you can dangle some charms. If you've ever seen books like that, that's optional. Okay, so now we're ready for our pocket page. And this is going to be a 8-page book, so there's 4 double-sided pages. And so we will take our pocket page right here, bring out your score runner or scoreboard, and we will start, let's see what I want to do. I want to put the 8-inch side. It looks like, yeah, the 8-inch side has to be at the top. Okay, I'm gonna turn it over. The flat side is facing up, my linen side facing down, and make a 1/2 inch. Okay, let's take some 3/8 inch score tape and run that right on the linen side with the bumpy side facing up. You put your tape below that bumpy side. You never want your tape on top of or past your score line. Okay, and then we're going to fold each of these over, press that down, okay. And what I like to do is I put the two pieces of paper on top of each other. On the top you'll have the one with the tape. Your flat side is facing up. You got your side without tape here, and your flap with the tape down at the bottom facing you. Take off the backing of the paper that's on top, and we're going to put these right on top of each other so they're lined up this way and this way. And we'll just start with one edge. So you put these two papers right up against each other. You don't see any table under here, and you just press that down. Walk yourself over and make sure that there's no table showing under here. The pages are right on top of each other, and press that side down and just go across. And now it's even. Found that way works really well. So what you do on this side now, let's take that off. And we're going to fold this over. I'm going to hold this down with my tool. I can use my finger, but I'm basically just lining up the corner, and I'm just going to press that corner down. Line it up. And just slowly all the way down. Okay, and it lays nice and flat. If there's any bubbles, you can press them out now, but that looks good. If you have a little bubble, or you know it's off on one side, just use your undo and try it again. But take your time and it should work out if you just do it one corner at a time like that. So now before we go cutting the next 6 pieces, you got to make sure this fits. So take your opening, make sure it fits over your hinge, which it does. I'm going to close the book, and this lands right about 3/4 of an inch or so from the edge, which is what we want, because we're going to have some pages. We're going to have a pullout here, so there will be enough room, and it fits on there nice, so I am happy with that. If you want, you can pause the tape here and cut the next 6 pieces and put them together just like we did, and you will have 4 of these pocket pages in total. So pause if you want, and then come back, and we are ready to start on page 1 right now. So here's my pocket page. I've got my openings on the left and right, and I'm going to put a number 1 here, flip it over, and put the 2 on the other side. It can be on the left-hand side, the right-hand side, as long as you're consistent, that you know that your page is at the top left in my case, then I know that after I'm finished with page 1, I know what direction page 2. You wouldn't want to accidentally make it like this. It's upside down, you have to start all over. So that's the reason why I do that. Label the first and second page and set that aside, and then we were going to cut our pieces, our flaps and our pockets. Okay, so I'm going to show you these. You can write it down and then pause and then cut them. But flap A is going to be 7 3/4 by 7, and I mean not 3/4, 3/8. There's a lot of eighth measurements. Basically, an eighth is 2 lines on your ruler or across your scoreboard, but I will tell you that 3/8 is 2 lines before the half. So 2 lines before 7 1/2 is 7 3/8. The B piece is 7 3/8 by 3 1/4. C is 7 3/8 by 7 7/8, and 7 7/8 is 2 lines before 8. D is 8 3/8, which is 2 lines before 8 1/2, by 3 1/8, which is 2 lines after 3. I have this all on my cut list too. It's under description, under the project share. Just print that off and you'll have it next to you when you're making the book. E is a pocket, so that's 8 5/8, which is 2 lines after 8 1/2. So the 3/8 is 2 lines before, and 5/8 is 2 lines after the half. So I use those fairly often through this book. By 4 1/4. Okay, and now bring out the score and we'll score them together. So let's put them in order, and we'll start with A. So this will be scored a 1/2 inch with the 7-inch side facing the top. I believe it's this one just by eyeballing, but yep, doesn't hurt to check. So 1/2 inch with the 7-inch side facing across the top. On my instructions I say up, but that means across the top. Okay, B, we are going to have the 3 1/4 inch side facing the top. C, we're going to have the longest side, the 7 7/8. I just want to measure that. Looks like this. Yep. Half inch, unless specified otherwise. D is it's a topper, so this one gets scored in the middle, and it turns out that the middle winds up being 4 3/16, which is 1 line before 4 1/4. So I'm just going to take a ruler here, and 4 1/4 here and 1 line before, it just winds up being that's the middle. So I have my long side facing the top, and then you can see that that's the middle. There we go. E is a pocket, and I want the opening across the long side, so we start with that side facing the top, and we'll put a 1/2 inch on 3 sides. So start with the first side, turn it to the right, turn it again one more time, and that's our pocket. So now we're going to get these all taped up, except for the D, that doesn't need to be taped right now. And let's bring out our 3/8 inch, and we're taping these on the textured side with the bumpy side facing up. so now the pocket, tape on 3 sides. And don't cut the corners just yet. If you haven't watched my videos, this is your first time, I do the pocket a little different, and it's really a neat trick because we can get the paper behind it no problem at all. Otherwise, you kind of have to fuss with it a little. And it gives you more control when you're placing your pocket down. So just hold off on that for a second. We're gonna press this all down and fold it. Where's my bone folder? Here it is. Whoops, I wanna be in frame here. Okay, so now the pocket, just gonna press this down real quick. All right, so let's get a piece of, get scissors, and let's turn it over on the other side where we can see our indented side. And you see this intersection right here. You just take your scissors and go up to that intersection, don't go past it. And then turn slightly and continue on. So you have like an arrow pointing into your pocket. And in just a second, you'll see why I do that. So now, if you fold these, okay. Let's get take the backing off the bottom here. If you hold that down, you press the sides in, it will hold. And when we put this on the page, we're not going to peel this off until we get our design paper behind it. Then you peel it off. So it's just easy to control. And when you put it on the page, you're really worrying about 1 sticky side, not 3 sticky sides. So that is why I do it that way. So let's bring out our pocket page. The one is in my upper left-hand corner. And I'm gonna put flap A first. This is a left flap. So I'm going to take the tape off, the backing. And what I do here, okay, here's my one. I'm just gonna turn it so the left-hand side is facing me. I can put this side down because that's not sticky and I can move it. I wanna just have a 1/16 of an inch, just one line on either side. So just look and make sure you've just got a little bit of room at the top and a little bit at the bottom. Tuck this flap under. Use your thumbs right here to guide it so it's, you know, it's right up to the edge. You can feel it with your thumbs, that your flap and your pocket page are lined up, and then you can press that down. Okay, now flap B is our right-hand flap. We'll do the same thing. Okay, I'm going to guide it here. There's just a little space at the top and the bottom. Okay, looks good. C is, hold on, it's our second second left-hand side. So it's going to go next to flap A like this, but I'm going to have it, it has to be before this score line right here. You can't have it on top of, because this flap has to go over it. So you'll have a little bit showing. Here we go, I'll show you. So again, you're looking, and there's just a little bit of space at the top and bottom, and you want it to be a little, I'm in shadow a little bit here, but you want it in front of this score line, just a little bit. It's not the end of the world if you have it more than a little bit. You just don't want it right on top of there. It wants to stick down by itself here. Okay. Okay. So I just have a little bit of space, the same that I do on the top and bottom. So that's my page. Now for our pocket. Now we have control, it's not all sticky over here. And basically you want a little bit of space left and right because you want these flaps to fold over your pocket. So just look at that real quick. There's a little bit of space on either side. Use your thumbs here, guide it to the bottom of the page, and just stick that bottom down. Okay, so now you see that this flaps up a little bit. When you go to decorate behind here, then you can take your pick tool or whatever you've been taking the backing off and peel that tape back and pull it, and it will stick down and your paper will be behind here already and you won't have to fuss getting it in the pocket. Okay, so that we will save for later. I'll leave it with the tape backing on right now. And what I want to do is magnet placement. So I use Basic Ray small magnets. I buy bunches of them. They have sticky on the side, or on the one side already, positive and negative. But you can just order a bunch of however you've been doing it. You just order some magnets on Amazon, and if they don't come with this sticky tape on it, you just take a piece of either 1/4 inch or 3/8 inch tape and you put that on there. So let's get started with, let's see what I want to do here. I want on flap A, let's put one in the middle. Yeah. Sometimes I put them in the middle, sometimes there's both on each side. It just really depends on how the page lays out. But in this case, I found that one in the middle works. So you put your piece of magnet there, take a piece of tape, either 1/4 or 3/8, up to you, and just tape that down. You do not want that coming loose. Your page will never stick. So you tape that down. When you put your design paper on, you peel this back and it'll be some extra stickiness right there. Just put the opposite there, the opposite pole. I kind of just start with the positive and then put a negative so I always know which is what. You flip this over, press down, and there's your other magnet. So you tape that down. Okay, so that goes like that. What did I do over here? On this one, it's better, since I have a pocket here, it's better to put one in each corner and then go down. Okay, so this requires 2. Because you have to imagine there's going to be papers and booklets in this pocket. So if you just had one in the middle and it landed here, your booklets would be in the way and it really wouldn't stick down. See, flyaway tape. Okay. All right, let's put these. then we'll fold this over. You know what? I want to, let's see if it lands. Hold on. No, it's going to land not on this flap. So fold that over. Press, press. Okay. Just don't have your tape go right up to the edge. You got to leave like at least a 1/16 or an 1/8 of an inch because you're going to have your paper there. Okay, and then this page, what we're going to do, let's see, hold on real quick. I am going to have this little booklet. It's going to be like this. So that will have a magnet under here and it will land here. So I can't really put the magnet right now because we have to put the paper here first. So this one will have to wait until this goes on. But basically what we're going to do is you'll have some score tape here and you'll put that underneath here. Then there will be, see how there's a magnet under here from this magnet? We can put a magnet on top of here and it'll land up here so that keeps this flap closed. So hopefully you see what I mean. When you're in the middle right here, you'll feel a magnet right there. That's that one. Take whatever the opposite is, and this again, you gotta wait until you put your design paper on, but I'll just show you basically. No, it's the other side. Okay, you'll peel that tape off. It will stick to here, and then that'll keep that closed, and you'll have one under here which will land on top of this on top of this page. One under here lands over there. Okay, so that is it. I can leave that there just to remind me that I still need to put that magnet here, and that is it. Let's put this here for right now. And I will show you what I did to decorate this. So you can make all the pages that we do and then at the end decorate, or decorate as you go. So what I like to do is I make the page and then I decorate. So that is up to you how you want to do that. But just so you don't have to flip back to the walkthrough video, I can just show you what I did here. So this is the cover sheet from the 12 by 12 pack, and I basically just cut the top. I had to cut a little bit off the bottom, but the flowers here, on the other side of this paper, some butterflies, so I cut one out, backed her on some black, and used that as my like opening. And I took a piece of scrap that was left over and put it on the other side of the butterfly. So use this paper here. This is that booklet, you know, there's the magnet there and here. Keeps that closed. And then this opens up. I use the orange here, orange butterflies there. And in the pockets, I made a photo mat and a 6x6 booklet with the same paper. I got the black with the words right there. It looked nice. And voila. For the pullout, I used the flowers with the butterflies. It kind of pulled all the colors together. So that was it for page 1. In the next video, we will do page 2. See you soon.